Episode 111. 111 straight weeks. Clash of the Podcast is back once again with another fine and dandy episode. Clash of the Podcast. I am Conrad Cushman of Everything Pro Wrestling. Yeet. He is Sean Hubbard of Hubbard Wrestling Weekly. Yeet. Today is my man Sir Quill's birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Lisa. Lisa, it's your birthday. We have a jam-packed loaded show full of news that just broke today. So we're gonna have a lot of good stuff happening here. And Clown, I see you got a raise, brother. Congratulations. I think I've touched on everything. I think we've done everything. Yeah, Sean, is there anything you want to say?
Let's go Mets! And Conrad, drop that thing.
All right, everybody. Thank you, everyone who is joining us. Before we get into reading the live chat, me and Sean, you were probably wondering, like, why did we start late? We were actually on time. The issue is we were having technical issues. It's one of those things on his end. He sees me blurry. On my end, I'm seeing him. Let me know if everything looks all right. Do we sound all right? Sean, say a few words.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Just let us know if everything is working, guys, and if it looks good. If things aren't looking good, then let us know. We're going to possibly have to hold off. But the voices are here. You know what we're going to be doing. You know what we're saying. So just let us know. Let's start with Clown. Clown, first one in here. He says, afternoon, everyone. He was early. What's going on, Clown?
Appreciate you.
You know what? You brought it to my attention. For Quilly, I saw you had put it in the chat. I'm going to let you get this one, Sean.
Quilly in the building. The birthday man says, what's up, Conrad, Sean, chat. Your boy Sir Quills is back at it again. And happy to be spending my birthday with the two favorite bros, CJ and Hubbs, for episode 111 of Clash of the By God podcast. We appreciate you, my G. God bless you and happy birthday.
Right. He says, AEW WrestleDream was once again another very good, high-quality 8.5 out of 10 show, minus two deplorable endings aside, yet another enjoyable AEW in-ring product. Blows out WWE's product easily. Woo! Woo! I don't know what the deplorable endings were. I hope it's not that Moxley, man, because I'm getting real tired of hearing about that was a bad ending.
Absolutely.
Bryan Danielson is a nasty dude, and he wrote that, and he wanted to go that way. We're going to talk about that, too. Got some interesting things to say about that. Joel has joined us saying, hey, guys.
What up, Joel?
What up? Your boy.
M. Leezy. Fo. Cheesy. Hello. Good evening. Hope everyone had a blessed weekend. Let's kick this week off right with the two aces of our pro wrestling community. We appreciate you, M. Leezy.
Yes. McKinney's in the house. He said, yo, I'm here to talk Wrestle with the Fire live chat and the final bosses of podcasts, Clash of the Podcast. And to let y'all know, your time is limited. Don't waste it living someone else's life. LFG, let's freaking go.
Talk that talk. The only Vinny we like.
Facts.
Happy Monday. God bless as always. God bless you, Vinny. We appreciate you.
Make sure to check out my guy Vinny's podcast as well. I like listening to that on Spotify.
That's what's up.
Good times. Matt Lopez said WrestleDream was a very good show. Ending shocked me, but I think it's going to grow out the main event scene for some people. Appreciate it. Like it. There's Clown say he got a raise. Jocelyn's in the house. Evening, everyone. Evening, Jocelyn.
Double J.
Guy Will Gamble's in the house. Europe, what's good, everybody? Good to see another episode of The Clash. LGM, let's go Mets.
You ain't lying about that.
Sean, your boy, your favorite family's in the house.
Yo,
Great
man,
concert.
always a pleasure to have Ray here, man, with his beautiful family on Facebook. Definitely brightens up my day when I get to see that on social media. Happy Monday, guys, he says. Hope everyone had a great weekend. We hope the same for you, my G. We hope the same for you and your beautiful family.
Copy. Getting some of the feedback. Sean is blurry, can't hear him, but can see him.
Yeah, I'm having a tough time, guys. Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on.
All good. Hopefully it evens out. Yeah, but his audio is clear. Rob just told me your audio is clear, though.
Well, thank goodness for that. Lord have mercy.
If we need to, Sean, if you want to, you could turn off the camera for a little, and I'm fine with that for tonight if we need to, just for a little bit.
Just for tonight, all right, yeah, all right, guys. You guys don't get to see my handsome face tonight, but it's okay.
Or we could try and turn it back on, and if you like, you could just mess with it when you're ready.
All right, sounds good.
Okay, let's see here. Deanna's in the house. Another Monday, another clash. Appreciate you, Deanna. Look at this. WrestleDream B+ is what I would have given it. The 3-way and Darby match for my faves.
Yes, sir.
TNT and the tag title match are my only low points for me. I mean, I thought the tag title match, that was better than what I usually get from the Bucks. I'm not going to front. Like, I don't know.
I mean, the match was good. It's just the outcome is kind of like, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. I mean, what are you going to do? That's where we're going to lay things. But let's circle around this wrestling news bit, shall we, guys? If you are on Twitter, we put this on Threads. I'm on Blue Sky. I'm on everywhere. If you guys happen to see this, give it a retweet. Share it with a friend. You never know who's a wrestling fan out there. So
we'd certainly appreciate it.
Darn tootin'. Sean put up a post on Twitter before me even, so make sure you retweet that as well. Speaking of Sean does have a beautiful threadless store. I love this t-shirt design. This is probably, do I want to say it? I'm going to say it. It's my favorite design that he's made thus far.
I'm not mad at you saying that, my brother.
No, well, this is for me. Like, I have a ranking problem. I'm like, hold on, before I say best, is it the best?
I respect. Listen, I worked countless weeks on that shirt. So compared to other shirts, catchphrases, kind of like, what I'm saying, like you kind of put things together and realize what you want to hear, realize what you want to talk about, put it on the shirt, make it sexy. But that shirt I worked really hard on. So thank you.
Yes. I love it though. It's on his threadless store. It's linked down below, so make sure that you guys are checking him out. Also, check out Sean's YouTube channel. We work together oftentimes on the pay-per-view weekends, and we usually throw together some content on Sean's channel, Clash of the Podcast sponsored, and it's right in there right about now. So make sure you guys are subscribed to Sean of Hubbard Wrestling Weekly. That is in the live YouTube chat. It's also in the description below. We got some beautiful wrestling shows coming up. First, we're going to show some love to the independent shows. On Triller TV, they're going to be hosting Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling Forged in Excellence, a 2-night event on Saturday, October 19th and Sunday, October 20th. They have one of my favorite words, #tremendous bundle for this show. I'm very interested. Like, look at the poster right here. Look at some of the stars you're going to get to see. Kushida, Athena, the former Jinder Mahal, ELP, QT Marshall.
Not Marshall. Marshall.
Who could be upset about that? Mike Bailey. You got Kylie Ray, Konosuke Takeshita, and Josh Alexander was just announced for the AEW International title. That belt's gonna. Konosuke was not fronting in that post media scrum, man. He said title's gonna be on the line, Sean.
I mean, look. I love when these independent shows have mainstream championships in the confines of the pay-per-view card. It makes it more interesting. It gets the mainstream audience back where it should be, which is supporting independent pro wrestling. I mean, MLP is kind of like not really like independent per se, but it is independent, if that makes any sense. It's kind of like in the middle. But
big time independent. It's like GCW.
Yeah, but I'm super fired up about this show, and I'm really happy what Triller TV's putting out there for us to see.
Yes, and I see in the chat they're bringing up Giselle Shaw. Thank you for that. Quilly's yelling Maple Leaf, Maple Leaf. Yeah, Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling is going to be fun. Mauro Ronaldo's going to be on the call with, is it Don Callis is his partner? Sean?
Yes.
Amazing lineup. I'm looking forward to these. I got mine. Sean's got his. Listen, not Triller sponsored in any way, but I'm letting you know. Go check these out. Go check out this show. It's
a personal recommendation from me and Conrad. We're not working for them, but we definitely want to put out there that we support pro wrestling, and with Triller TV putting out good product, we also support them, and we like to think they support us too, I guess.
Yeah. They do give a retweet here and there.
There you go. We'll take what we can get.
Speaking of them, they're also going to be hosting TNA Bound for Glory. This has been a staple since the early 2000s, if you've been a longtime wrestling fan. Nick Nemeth defending the world championship against Joe Hendry. Is JBL or what he said to Nick Nemeth going to play a part in all of this? It's up. You can order it today. Me and Sean, I think it's going to probably be part of our show next week for a preview.
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to Bound for Glory. Any memories, anything you want to tell the people about Bound for Glory, Sean?
I always used to love LAX. So they opened up Bound for Glory many years ago. LAX was my squad. I really enjoyed them. And obviously you have marquee matches like Hogan and Sting, Angle and Joe. They definitely put some quality product out there, whether it be from a character standpoint or from a pro wrestling standpoint. And as always, I like to say that everybody says that Bound for Glory is the WrestleMania of TNA. I like to say that WrestleMania is the Bound for Glory of WWE.
Wow. So elegantly put. But if you've been getting into TNA, crowd sizes are increasing. Stuff's growing over there. Check out Bound for Glory. I think it's well worth people's time once again. Like I said, it's going to be on Triller. Check them out. Also, we got some news coming out of New Japan today. Lots of it. New IWGP World Champion. Our boy, ZSJ. He called his shot early. He said, "No, I'm taking my title shot before Wrestle Kingdom." He said he wanted to go into England as the champion. He has done it. I think it was the right call to make at this point in time, Sean.
Let me tell you something about Sabre Jr. This kid, he is just outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. And I am so thrilled for his continued success as somebody I consider one of the top 15 professional wrestlers in the world today. I mean, I'm just over the moon with the excitement levels that I've seen as it relates to this guy winning a championship, because he deserves it.
Absolutely. Worked very hard for it. And honestly, he worked extremely hard, because I remember when he was in the lower card all the time, and I was like, man, give this guy something more to do. Then he was in the tag division, but he climbed those ranks, and now look at him. World heavyweight champion. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy, as Bobby the Brain Heenan would say. And I don't mean it in the way he said it, but absolutely thumbs up move here for Zack Sabre Jr. I'm happy for him. And maybe this is the launching pad that New Japan needs. Like a couple months ago, Sean, I think the feeling between us was, we don't know where New Japan's really going, and they got to figure it out. I'm starting to see the pieces come together here.
It's coming together, and it's almost, to me, Brother Conrad, like a resurgence. You know what I'm saying?
It is one of the pay-per-view names too.
Well, facts. We're talking about. I guess I get more eloquent when the camera's off, huh? Anyway, on a serious note, New Japan Pro Wrestling, I've always said is one of the most fantastic organizations in the pro wrestling world. Obviously, it's seen better days, but I think we're starting to see the resurgence, and I love Sabre as a flagship holder of that resurgence.
Yeah, absolutely the person to go with, especially if you're transitioning into the younger talent. Like I said, you're going to need someone to kind of hold it down until everyone's ready. Zack Sabre Jr. is in that mix, I think, of people that you can go to. Him, Shingo. There's a couple guys, so it's in good hands is what I'm saying.
That's a fact.
Going to what some people are saying here, Takeshita and Josh Alexander for the AW International title, Athena versus Giselle for the ROH Women's title. Look at that. World championships being defended other places. I love it. I love to see it. Ray Thompson says AJ Styles versus Daniels Iron Man is my favorite Bound for Glory match. I appreciate that. I like hearing that. Matt is also happy for ZSJ. McKinney says, I'll be in the building with my EPW shirt on. Appreciate it, fam. Enjoy that the Bound for Glory show. It should be fun, man.
Yes, definitely.
Guy Will Gamble says, I don't know if you can see this, Sean, but your boy here.
You know what? I know I'm probably still blurry. This is going to take a full reboot, but give me a second here. Let me tell you something.
Hold on. I'm moving this down so they can see you.
The Mets are trying to give this game away, and Phil Maton. I think you're good. Oh, all right. And Phil Maton is a big part of that. However, he just got a major double play. We're up 6-0. Now we're up 6-3. We just got to have a big jam. I don't even know what to do with myself. I can barely compose myself. Conrad, take the mic again because I am about to lose my crap.
All right. I'm telling McKinney, make sure you tag us in those photos, man. I'll give some retweets for you. No comment on the Mets. I'm going to keep it moving when it comes to this. But I think Sean's back. Let me know his camera is clear now perfectly. So we should be good.
And my hairlines never look better. That's just a pointless thing I wanted to throw out there.
Mine is like merging in with the green screen behind me.
I've told you before, Conrad, you're fortunate you have a bald head that doesn't look bad because everybody doesn't know what lurks underneath. You got lucky. You could have had a lot of ebbs and flows on that thing, bro.
Some heaves and hoes. He deserves an amazing ZSJ versus Sonata this Sunday for the IWGP title in England. Yes. Sonata's someone else who should be back in that mix again. Good for him. It's funny how guys are getting legit lined up to challenge ZSJ, man. Shingo, Shota, yep. Tanahashi. Deanna, I'm glad you brought it up.
Giving you guys a look at my home today because I think the blurriness was starting to freak out everybody.
It's a lovely home. I love it.
Well, you know, I do my best.
I love it. Sean, sad news today. Well, kind of. We got the farewell tour announced for Tanahashi. Now, I know Matt Lopez calls us the aces of the wrestling podcast community, which I appreciate. But the real ace of pro wrestling is Tanahashi. Quick background story for you guys. Very quick. Tanahashi is one of the people that saved New Japan along with Okada. Like, I don't think people knew how bad it was. I was watching during that time. If you weren't there for Inokiism, I don't really want to hear from you.
Come on now.
All right. I was there. Bob Sapp was there, man. And I liked it. I was like, come on, Bob Sapp, let's go. Mm-hmm. That's who ended up saving the business for New Japan. That's why they probably offered him the president role. Like, yo, we owe everything to this dude. Like, he got us out of some bad times. And he's announcing his farewell tour. He's going to retire not at this Wrestle Kingdom, but the next one in 2026. So that's it. So this is his farewell tour. It makes you wonder, well, how do you end it? Is it Okada? Do you put over someone young? There's a lot of questions here.
This guy is deserving of a farewell tour. It's just, I don't like how they're doing it in lieu of how John Cena is doing his. The John Cena retirement tour is fairly unique in the fact that it's been announced a year in advance, right? And now it's happening again. It comes across as fugazi. Like, the dude deserves a farewell tour, but the way they're doing it is kind of like, did you not see that John Cena is doing the exact same thing? Like, ugh. Well,
here's the thing.
I may be picking for straws. I acknowledge that.
No, I think it's the bubble thing. Like, we watch all of pro wrestling, so we know what's going on. In Japan, they're probably like, no, this is our John Cena.
Okay.
Like, that was the dream match, like to one day have Tanahashi versus Cena. But
okay.
I roll as to why that would never happen. But now we're here. And it's just been tough because you've seen Muda retire. You're just seeing so many people retire. And these are guys that this is probably, I'm trying to think of Danielson. We're just talking about his retirement too. Danielson was probably the first person, Sean, where I think we saw the beginning of his career and then we saw the end of it. Mm-hmm. And it's crazy to think 1999, where were you? What were we doing? We were kids. I think we were in elementary school still.
I believe either elementary or first year of junior high.
Yeah. Like, think about that. wild. And now we're grown men and we're like, yeah, that's it for old Bryan Danielson. Never thought this day would come.
Exactly.
All that time has passed. So these guys deserve it. And I saw Deanna saying Naito, Naito's been looking roughed up too. It's tough to do that style over there too, that you're going to take a beating. That's
true.
New Japan has quality matches, just lacking the star power they once had. I think. Well, you don't want my thought. Well, should I get into it? Should I say?
I want you to get into it. I want you to give me a minute and a half after I give Ray 30. 100% true what Ray just said.
Mm-hmm.
But it's. I think we could be on the verge of something good. Like I use the word resurgence. Go ahead, Conrad.
I was just gonna say I don't think all this other wrestling is bad though. There's only but so many hours you can devote to pro wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Raw's on for 2 hours, SmackDown to 3, NXT 2. You watching Speed? Are you watching any of those other shows?
Please.
Are you trying to be like me, where I'm like, all right, I'm gonna watch TNA tonight? That's tough to do. Now I can't. Like now I freed up some more of my time, and it's hard to get back into the routine once you get out of it.
As you should.
I watch AEW. Do you watch Collision? Do you watch Rampage? Do you have time for this? What's up with Shockwave? Do I have time to watch all the New Japan shows? I pick and choose the New Japan shows that I'm going to watch. I'm like, Resurgence is this weekend. I got some time on Saturday after the boxing match. I'll watch this. You know what I mean? Like it's okay. I try to make time for these things, and that's one of the issues I think that people can't really get into it. And I think WWE, I'm not going to lie, they're eating a lot of your quality time. If you are digging the stories and stuff, they're like, we got you. Watch all of us, everything we've got.
And it's disappointing because there's other quality professional wrestling shows that deserve the time. WWE does monopolize a lot of it. There was a time I boycotted WWE, so I had a little bit more time to indulge in other organizations. Now that I'm back watching WWE again, I have to say you're right. You watch 5 hours of WWE, not including NXT. If you include NXT, you're talking about another 2, so that's 7. Right, and then like you just broke down.
That's just your hour break at work. That's a shift, bro.
Oh, come on now. And at the end of the day, bro, you're like talking about what you just accurately articulated, which is the fact that we're grown men with families and stuff to do other than watch television all day. That's the thing I think people forget. Like, we're not coming home from school and eating some cookies and having some Sunny D and sitting in front of TV anymore. Now we have to tend to our children, tend to our wives or fiance, tend to real life stuff.
Those were the days. I wish I had a piano right here.
About 1 million years ago, I'm trying to say, as I sit here in my late 30s, it seems like my pubescent years, adolescent years are long ago, man. I mean, for the kids of 2024, they get to indulge, and while we were watching Rock and Austin, they're watching Seth Rollins, etc., and they get to watch it more often on their phones and on social media. Exactly. I don't know. It's a good time to be alive in the world of pro wrestling, but also it's a lot. The business is very saturated. That's not a bad thing, but it's not necessarily a good thing either.
Yeah, I think we're at the point of you got to be careful because you might turn people off with too much as well.
Come on now.
Shout out to Easy E in the chat, showing love, man. Yuke said Tanahashi out New Japan on their backs, yo. Nah, I think they're all right. Tana's niece said farewell a long time ago. Come on now.
Yo, he's not wrong.
He's not. I remember seeing it happen a couple years ago. I was like, ooh, he ain't moving like he was. Legit have a question. Is there a chance Triple H will let Nakamura or John Cena wrestle Tanahashi in this farewell tour? I never say never.
He's more likely to let Nakamura do it because Triple H is cool with a payday for Nakamura and a payday for WWE because Nakamura is not being used properly in WWE anyway. So at this point, it's like to get Nakamura in a marquee type situation overseas would be nothing but benefit. Triple H is not going to do anything that's not beneficial for WWE first and foremost. Cena going to New Japan, unfortunately for us fans who deserve to see that match, it doesn't benefit WWE more than it benefits New Japan. In that case, it would benefit New Japan more. Triple H is never going to give anything a green light that benefits the other organization more. Hence why they send NXT's C team, not even B team, C team to TNA while they're sending over their world champion and women's champion over here.
Right. Your best is our
right.
It's been the issue that we've had from the beginning. You're sending our best to developmental, and then meanwhile you're sending us the people who need to be developed.
I've said it once, and I'll say it again, and I won't go too much detail because we already have talked about this. Sending Jordan Graves and Joe Hendry and people like that over to NXT, I wouldn't have done it if I was TNA. It's a complete slap in the face to TNA and everything TNA stands for. TNA is considered a major wrestling promotion in this country. NXT is WWE's developmental system. I don't blame, listen, Triple H, you know how I feel about Triple H, right? But I don't blame Triple H for doing what he's doing. If you're going to let me get away with it, if you're going to let me, if you're going to send me hundreds of dollars while I send you pennies and you're cool with it, then why wouldn't I?
Hey, if they're letting you get one up on them.
As I turn my camera back off because I think we're having difficulties again.
Yeah, I just sent you a message about it. We'll pop it back up again whenever you think it's good, Sean.
Yeah, all good.
Clown says, sad news today. I just read this too. I heard that the Briscoe brothers were supposed to debut with the Wyatt family. Then Jay made the tweet that got him in trouble. Yeah, I read that too. Mm-hmm. The sad part was I was always told that they weren't, what's the word, aesthetically pleasing for WWE at that time, which I absolutely detest that they say stuff like that about people.
That's a very accurate statement.
Yeah, so that would have been quite different, though. The Briscoe brothers and the Wyatt family, that would have been different. I don't know if you saw that or had any thoughts on that, but
no, I heard you. I mean, look, it is what it is at this point.
Yeah, can't change it for sure. I basically just watch whatever show Roman is on and call it a day. Raw when Monday Night Football isn't on. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I picked 3 shows a week to watch live. Calvin Houston, why do you guys think they're taking so long to split Theory and Waller?
Because WWE's stupid.
I just think they're trying to drag it out and satisfy as many people as they can. But here's what happens with that. Me and Sean have mentioned it before, Calvin, and good question. I think it's more so about, we're going to try to make Theory and Grayson Waller happy. But meanwhile, you're hurting other people like insert. I'm kicking it to you, Sean, if you got a name. Montez Ford and his tag team partner, Angelo Dawkins. Like, we're going to make them. Why aren't they on TV?
Right. It becomes comical at certain points.
You're robbing Peter to pay Paul. Someone's getting hurt by this no matter what on that roster. There's always going to be someone that we're like, they're not being used enough. You know what I mean?
Right. Absolutely. Well said.
Going back to this with all the hours of wrestling on TV and living my full grown man life, I appreciate those that create reels on YouTube because watching the full shows sometimes is a chore. Doug in the house, he said, lost track of time. Another Monday, another clash. Thanks for the code for WrestleDream. Teach me.
Yo, Dougie, I'm doing it. You just can't see it because I'm having computer problems, but I'm doing it.
Yeah, audio is good. It's just the computer. I don't know what's happening over there. Let's see here. Easy says, Triple H got Muda and Noah under WWE stuff. New Japan working with AEW. I don't know if it's likely to happen. Maybe if they made some plea, because I know that was. See, and here's my thing, Sean. When people say dream match for AEW, this is like dream match scenario territory.
Absolutely.
Tanahashi versus John Cena is a dream match. Like when people are like, yeah, AEW just puts on dream match. I'm like, all these aren't dream matches. A dream match is Hulk Hogan versus The Rock.
Yes.
That's a dream match. Not just like, yeah, it's going to be Tweedledee versus Timbuktu tonight. Like, guys, stop doing that. Like, they could end up in the same company. When you think there's no hope that this match could happen because they're in completely different companies and they're super loyal to both, that's when it's a dream match. I don't know. I'm just very difficult on that word.
You're not being difficult. You're being a fan and you're being a word you hate, which is a journalist who's seeing with your own eyes what's going on.
I am an opinionist. I will always tell people I'm just a fan. A fan.
Okay.
I don't have writings like you. You have works. You have works that are published, not me.
I do okay.
Vinny says Triple H is basically sending WWE's JV and junior varsity to other companies. Wow.
Vinny, I don't see any lies from what you just said.
Yeah. And thank you. Someone just okayed the cosmetically pleasing. Robert Brown from Lafayette, Indiana in the building. What's happening, y'all? What's good, Robert? Appreciate you joining us. He said WrestleDream sucked. I'm going to disagree with that, good sir. I'm going to totally disagree with that. Yeah. And I'm going to stay out of this partnership and cosmetically pleasing stuff for right now, guys. I see that you're
that conversation can get real ugly.
Absolutely. And we're going to avoid it because there are court proceedings that are probably going to be happening because of those in the future. So let's get into Smack Dizzle. Roman Reigns was back. It was time, Sean. It was time. Get into this bloodline, man. This is your bag, I think. Like you have a big investment into this. I think everyone does as a fan, but I know that the Usos are your guys, and there's a lot to talk about with this.
All right, let's get into this, bro. I appreciate you, man. Look, this was the corniest crap I've ever seen in my damn life. They have put this together with such idiocy and basically has made the OG Bloodline seem like a comedy show. Now, do I still love the Usos? Of course. Do I still love Roman Reigns? Of course. But you got Jimmy out there, who, by the way, just returned after 6 months, who came back to a hero's welcome. This is his moment. This is Jimmy Uso's moment. And they put him out there, and he's talking to Roman. Hey, Roman, we need help. We need help, Roman. The whole crowd yelling yeet. Roman's like, no yeet. I'm like, how much of a lack of creativity can WWE be showing in this situation? I have been so disappointed with World Wrestling Entertainment and their complete continued lack of creativity, of understanding the audience. Every single week, people are chanting yeet. They're chanting yeet during the pre-show. They're chanting yeet during matches that have nothing to do with Jey Uso. They're chanting yeet when there are matches that do have something to do with Jey Uso. They're chanting yeet every 5 minutes, right? And yet, he's not on television. My ship has sailed. He won his championship. I'm no longer angry. I'm no longer walking around with that massive mountain called a chip on my shoulder. I am fine. But you know what's not fine? You know what makes no sense? See, I've changed from anger to just pure confusion. I am confused, dismayed, befuddled by the fact that for some reason they keep this guy off of television. Now, are they trying to save it for this big Bloodline reunion? Probably. Are they doing it in an entertaining and productive way? No. But that's Triple H's MO. Triple H thinks he's the greatest thing since sliced bread with that Booker book and that pencil in his hand. Yet he's putting this together ridiculously. Then we can see this coming a mile away. The Bloodline beats up Jimmy. The Bloodline beats up Roman Reigns. And the show goes off the air with that ridiculous, we need help, Oos. Yo, Oos, we need help. Of course you need help. You're fighting a 4-on-2 battle. It makes no sense. Are you telling me there's no better way that you could have come up with having Jay or Sami Zayn enter the fold? Grow up. Start writing stuff that makes us have to think a little bit instead of giving us this pure lunacy that you consider to be awesome television. I don't care if your name is on the credits at the end of the show as executive producer.
Credit boys.
Yeah, I don't care if you come out at every show and spit on people to feel your nostalgia from 20 years ago. Stay your punk behind in the back. Stay in the director's chair and try and put on a show that doesn't insult our intelligence. Please and thank you.
I called it the back to school special. I was not feeling it as much as others. And I know this is going to sound like super bad coming from me, especially when it comes to this bloodline stuff. But what I didn't like about it was this is cheap. Like, we've spent all this time saying we're storytellers, long-term booking, which words I haven't heard until other people came around. I'm going to try to not do anything crazy right now and get into that tribal stuff. But some of the stuff, we didn't hear these words till other people came around. And this is the best you've got for this storyline now?
Pathetic and lazy.
And we're going to touch on some of the other things that bleed into this. And there's other things surrounding this as well, which if you listened last week, me and Sean got into this. By the way, this poster that's up here, you see Rock right here on the bottom next to Roman? Rock ain't wrestling in this match, y'all. I hope you know that.
Sure not.
Not a chance. Not a chance at all. He's not doing this.
And by the way, that appearance of Bad Blood, wrap your head around the fact, not you, Conrad, everybody else, wrap your head around the fact that was a one-off. We'll see him in January.
Yeah, well, according to Uncle Dave, he said that he's not wrestling at WrestleMania, and Rock had to put the kibosh on that real quick, which that wouldn't make sense for him not to wrestle there. Yeah, so I don't know. I just thought that was extremely nah, this ain't it, Chief.
Cheap and lazy. Like I said, it's lazy. It's just lazy booking. And you know something? And I'm going to include myself, Conrad. Let me see if this will work. I'm going to include myself and say to you, I'm included in being caught up when the Rock's music hit. I got all excited. Shame on me, shame on you, and shame on everybody else, because I'm so sick of WWE. I'm turning my camera off again. Getting us in the palm of their hand, okay, and having us get all excited because you hear, if you smell what was accomplished by him coming out there. Not a darn thing. Not a darn thing. He came out, he stood there with that ridiculous belt. Why is he still carrying that piece of crap around?
I love it.
God almighty, it's the most pretentious and stupid thing I've ever seen. And I have to give credit to The Rock. I love the Final Boss character, but how dare you insult us and get us all fired up about a Rock appearance? Rock came out, stood on the apron, I should say, the stageway, looked at everybody, did the whole throat thing to insinuate that somebody's time is almost up. He counted down 3, 2, 1, his music hit, and he walked out. Who cares? But we're stupid. I'm including me, are stupid because we get excited because The Rock shows his big bald head on television with that stupid belt, and we get all fired up about it. Meanwhile, Cody Rhodes stands there with that stupid look on his face, and Roman's standing there with Jimmy, and there's no rhyme or reason to it. It's the most ridiculous crap I've ever seen. Give me something of substance, Paul.
Yeah, I don't know where this is fully going yet. I don't know.
Comment on what I just said, Conrad. I would love to hear, because you always talk me down when I'm overreacting.
I'm going to disagree with the miniature part of this. I like The Rock coming out with the belt. I think it's such a heel thing to do. Like, he's such a joke that he's carrying a belt that he made it for himself, basically. It makes it even funnier. I think his IG promos are good, but I would rather that be why isn't this on the show?
Makes no sense.
Maybe they're trying to drive. Well, I told you my theory before. This goes back to what I said about Netflix. I think the thought is we're getting people on their phones. We're getting people to look up clips because that's how they're going to consume wrestling going forward. So now it's not going to be, well, if you want to watch the whole Netflix show, come on in and watch it. Oh, you just want to see The Rock? Here's a clip for it. Mm-hmm. I think they're trying to what's the word I'm looking for here? It's like a business psychology. Like, they're trying to get you to start doing it on your own. And then by the time they're ready, you're just doing it already. Like, yep, there it is.
My guy, Derek, I see you.
What up, D? I see Robert Brown in them in here. Appreciate the comments, Robert. I'm going to get to the AEW stuff in a little bit with Sean. McKinney says that's going to be the story, fam. Roman is going to have a place in hand and acknowledge Jey Uso and ask for his help, but Jey will say no at first because of how it all went down. McKinney,
let me There you go, Con. I think I know you're about to go where I was going to go. Talk,
no, go ahead. No, go ahead. You're on fire right now.
What I was going to say was, why would Jay help Jimmy either? Why the hell would Jay Uso help Jimmy either? This makes no sense on a million levels. A million. Jay doesn't like Jimmy any more than he likes Roman Reigns. The only person stupid, and I'm talking to the number one goofball, Paul Levesque, the only thing that would make sense is if Cody Rhodes makes an outreach to Jay Uso. But you know what sucks about that? It sucks because Cody Rhodes should have nothing to do with this. It's a complete cluster, Conrad Cushman. A complete cluster. There's no reason for Jay to align himself with Roman Reigns again. There's no reason for him to align himself with Jimmy Uso again. He's cool with Sami Zayn is cool with. He's cool with Cody Rhodes, but Cody Rhodes being involved in this is ridiculous to begin with because he has a feud going with Kevin Owens. What is going on here? Somebody help me understand. And Conrad, they're a team.
Yeah, more on that in a moment.
It's ridiculous. It's borderline insulting, Conrad. It's borderline insulting.
I haven't even said something yet, Sean, that I'm going to probably bring up at one point in the show. I know at the end I'll bring it up for sure, but I'm going to bring up something, and I want y'all to just remember, C-Jive said that. No, should I say it now? Tell me if you want it now.
Give it to me now.
They're not even on the same show. They're not on the same show. What happened to this draft that you tell us about? What is this tonight? What is this?
There you go.
Why is Cody Rhodes on Raw?
You're right.
I know. Here comes somebody. Well, they're doing the Crown Jewels show, and they have to be on both. That was never said. That the brand split's on pause. Nobody ever said that.
You ain't telling no lie, Conrad. I'm glad you. I wasn't even thinking about the shows. You're 100% right.
Why? Let me hold on. Let me go back into this. And not only that, when is Survivor Series? Is it at the end of the month in November?
Survivor Series. Thanksgiving is late. That means Survivor Series is late. It's the last Saturday of the month.
Okay. I guess you got a month still to build this out, but the long-term genius, right? This is what I'm talking about. Long-term credit boys. And that's borrowed from my boys at Grapsity because I died laughing when they first said that. Oh, you mean credit boys? have their name shown, even though there's like 100 writers and their names aren't being shown. But I digress.
Right.
Had to let you know who wrote it. Why on earth is this? You have a lot of play in this right now, especially with Jimmy as the Intercontinental Champ.
Right.
How would you get them over there? How do you do this? Does Roman send smoke signals? Does Roman then eventually say, you know what? I'm Roman Reigns. I go wherever I want. I do. You could tell stuff with this, but they're gonna go through this in a month. Because I see people. He is the funniest troll. This had me laughing before. Sean, are you ready?
I saw that. He is a troll. He's a funny troll, though. I'll give him credit.
He is. I don't think Cody is wrestling in War Games. I don't think so either. The wise man is going to have to make the phone call to get Jay and Sammy.
Jay doesn't like Paul Heyman.
He has a championship.
Jay doesn't like freaking Paul Heyman. What is going on here, Conrad Cushman?
He should trust none of them, in all honesty.
No,
neither should Sammy.
I'm going to let you go, Conrad, but it's just like they talked about in the documentary about who. It's like, oh my God, Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant never faced each other before. Andre's never been slammed. Andre hasn't been beaten 15 years. Well, stupid. He got beat about 100 times in his career. He got slammed about 100 times in his career. And everybody knows it wasn't the first time they faced each other. Stop insulting the people. It's ridiculous. Are we supposed to forget that Roman Reigns and Jimmy Uso made Sami Zayn and Jay Uso's life miserable? Are we supposed to forget about that? Like it didn't happen less than a year ago? Come on.
What up, Joe Compton?
It's ridiculous. It's like, this is so freaking stupid. Like I said a second ago, Conrad, the only person that the only person that Jay would listen to outside of Sammy, who doesn't have a stake in this right now, is Cody Rhodes. Other than that, why would Jay help them? Let's get, and this is encouragement for all the people listening to us right now, and for you, Conrad Cushman, and for me, as a matter of fact. Let's stop being blinded by the excitement of the Bloodline OG reunion. Okay, it would be awesome to see the Usos getting back together. It would have also been awesome for them to never break up in the first place. But I digress. Yes, it would be awesome. I'm not done. Yes, it would be awesome for Jey Uso to reunite with Roman Reigns. Yes, it would be awesome for everybody to get back together and throw their ones in the air. And Paul Heyman to come out and say, "Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen," and everybody to hug and kiss and be cool with each other again. But it doesn't make sense.
Also, there is a draft that would prevent all this from even happening. Why are you talking to guys on this show?
There you go.
Like I said, if you do a trade or something, I'll be the first one to be like, "Hey, cool, you did something there."
Right.
But this is who we're like, yes, long-term thinkers. Like, what are we doing? If I'm Sammy and Jay, I have no reason to interact with you. I don't care what you say. You're clear. And why on earth would I go back to SmackDown to help them? Why would the Bloodline interfere with Jay? He's not a threat to me. He's not on my show. Why do I care what he's doing?
Jay, they don't even know. The Tama Tonga and Tonga don't even know who Jey Uso is.
Solo ain't even beating anybody. So what does it matter? This is what I'm talking about. I'm sorry. I'm just pointing out the holes in this.
Anybody besides me that would love to see the Usos get back together more than me? There's not a soul living that would love to see the Usos get back together more than me. But it doesn't make any freaking sense.
We've got a debut coming on SmackDown coming up soon for one of my favorite tag teams, Motor City Machine Guns, right?
That is true.
The Usos goosebumps right now, for the record. Mm-hmm. Gotta do the rock. Goosebumps.
Yeah.
You're going to get that tag division right, but you have to get it right. Like, the pieces are there. You just have to make people care. It's there for you. Take it. Do what you're going to do.
Can I throw something else out there at you, bro? You know what makes more sense? I don't want it to happen. I'm going to say it 3 times. I don't want it to happen. I don't want it to happen because nobody likes the Yeet movement more than I do. But you know what makes sense? It would make sense. You know what makes sense? When Roman Reigns and Jimmy Uso knocked on my door, it would make sense for Jey Uso to kick their teeth down their damn throats. That's what would make sense.
I have to respond to McKinney here.
Please.
He says, stop blaming Triple H for The Rock's ego and bad habits. Ooh. Don't blame The Rock.
Ooh. I don't know if I agree with that, McKinney.
I don't. No, you know who I am going to blame? I am going to blame Nick Khan. Remember who used to eat the blame for everything else? He ain't here no more. Boogeyman's gone. He didn't think of the Bloodline. Credit Boys did. Yep. Everything that's great, the Credit Boys thought of.
Come on now.
Stop. And I'm not saying that to stick up for him. Bleep that guy. Bleepity bleep that guy. I don't care nothing about him. I don't care that he's gone. Good riddance. Bye. See you later. But we're also not going to act like caught myself. We're not going to act like Triple H is so, I didn't know anything about what's going on.
He's not devoid of blame.
You've heard us tell the Thanksgiving stories. Don't make us do the trick-or-treating stories.
There you go.
Declan, how's it going, dude? Got Kit Kats for you, man. That's like, right. Come on, dude. These guys know each other. There's no way. So we're sitting up here, and how is it The Rock's ego? Say no. Say, I don't want you to come, Rock. Or do you want that money that he generates? Which one is it?
It's a conversation. You know something? Yes, I'm going to make an AEW comparison because I love it. I freaking love it. Let me tell you something. I'm so tired of people talking about how Tony Khan's not a good boss. If Triple H was a good boss, you know what would have happened when The Rock's people called? Because I'm sure that's how it played out. Because I don't think they called The Rock to do a 30-second appearance where he just goes like this and everybody gets excited for nothing. You know what happened? What probably happened was with The Rock. Oh, I'm going to be in Atlanta this weekend. I'm going to be in Georgia this weekend for college football. I'm going to come by. Let me make an appearance. Okay, Rock. Well, that's cool. We're always happy to have you. You're not expected to come back until January. What's the purpose of you coming back? I mean, other than the pop, hey, we love you, Rock. Other than the pop, we know you're going to get a big pop. But from a storyline perspective, what's that going to do? Well, I'm going to come out and I'm going to have this stupid belt over my shoulder and I'm going to put on my too tight for TV vest and I'm going to computer back off, camera back off, and I'm going to go like this. Imagine what I'm doing with my throat right now. And everybody's going to cheer, and I'm going to be back in January. Well, Rock, that doesn't make any freaking sense!
So Vinny said, how do you explain Roman going to Netflix too? Roman could at least say he's got a clause to hear other sides, and then he could wind. Roman's pretty simple to explain, I think, honestly. He could be like, I've always had these agreements in place. I can negotiate whenever I want. But that's believable. You can't sit up here and say that with some people. McKinney said that's his brother. First, you'll always forgive family, but he'll tell Roman no. Well, Roman's family too, right? I guess. Okay. It'll be Sammy to convince Jay to help because they were at their best together, but Jay will still be reluctant. Jay won the Intercontinental title without him, though.
Yeah, Jay's never been more successful than since he left the Bloodline. But again, not saying that I want the Bloodline to not get back together. I love the freaking Bloodline. But there has to be – this goes back to a long time ago because this proves why they never should have freaking broke up in the first place. Right?
I'm sorry, Chad. I'm trying to keep up with you. Roman to Raw's money. Y'all about to will another draft into existence, Rob said. Yeah. Hey, trust me, it's coming in May. It's the most exciting time of the year. We're on fire right now. I bet, buddy. Diggs, BTW1 says, hey, yo, what's up? What's good, man? Appreciate you joining us on Twitch.
Welcome,
we're also live on YouTube on the Everything Pro Wrestling YouTube channel. Make sure to check out the Hubbard Wrestling Weekly YouTube channel. Calvin says, do you guys Triple H may have a vendetta against Austin Theory because of the fact that he was pushed by VKM and VKM was ruining NXT when Triple H was running it? I don't think it's a vendetta. I think Triple H decided to slow down what VKM was pushing quickly, if that makes sense.
No, that makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah, I think it's that simple. He's not done. Sorry, I'm jumping through some of these. I think Cody does a team with the Bloodline. I think we get Cody KO. So a lot of people are thinking that. Hashtag indulge Dwayne. Pro Wrestler Shoot. What up, Jesse? Said afternoon, fellas. Pro Wrestler Shoot. I don't know if they're going to be live tomorrow night, Jesse. I don't know if his voice is still cooking. But I'm going to put his stuff in there for you guys to check out the Pro Wrestler Shoe. If you love video games, subscribe to their channel. That Triple H imitation was on point.
Yeah, pretty good, Conrad. Pretty good.
We do our best. Yeah, Motor City Machine Guns. Y'all still complaining about this? Let's talk the WrestleDream outcome. That's for the end of the show, Jesse. Come on now. Hub's rants are epic and legendary. Listen, live tomorrow. Thank you, good sir. No, we were just pointing out the issues with the Bloodline storyline for at least what our issues were. Like I said, to me, I told Sean, I texted him. I was like, it feels like a back to school special. It feels like I'm watching Family Matters right now. Like, all right. I was waiting for the Carl and the sad music to hit. Oh no, Edo's on drugs. Ba, 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 ba. You know what I mean? Like, Dad, I was just holding the cigarettes for Waldo so he didn't get in trouble. Like, all right. I got you. So we've got some other storylines that are going to go into this. We're going to do SmackDown, and then we're going to jump into Raw. And I know it's not all of the storylines, but I just wanted to touch on some of these just for moment's sake. So let's try to keep them quick, and then we'll run through these, Sean.
No problem, brother.
Nia Jackson, Naomi. Naomi came out, and she was having some issues with Nia, and it looks like they're trying to maybe set Naomi up for a championship contender match. I'm not exactly sure why they did what they did here. They still got Tiffany Stratton in the background here. How you feeling about the women's championship scene on SmackDown?
I think it's pathetic. I think Tiffany Stratton is a superstar talent that they're holding off on pretty soon she's going to cash in, which is fine. But Nia is reckless in the ring. I'm tired of seeing Naomi get squashed, even though she won a non-title match. It's going to lead to absolutely nothing. I don't like it. I haven't liked it in a long time, and we all need to recognize the fact that Nia Jax is a reckless person who does not perform well in the ring as it relates to the safety of her opponents.
Listen, Nia, has she hurt anyone since she's been back, though? I don't think so. I know I'm sticking up for Nia a little bit here because I do see some improvement, but what does that mean when... You know what I mean? It's what's your phrase that you always say, Sean? You were here. I can't do it with my hands. Hold on. You were here, but now you're here. You know?
You were here, and now you're here. That doesn't mean it's good.
But there has been some improvement here. You're good too, by the way. You're good. I think you'll be back on. Where, like I said, camera difficulties. I can't explain what's going on. I'm blaming StreamYard or something. I don't know what it is.
It'll be fixed by next week. But we're working without a net and doing pretty darn well.
Yeah, absolutely. So the women's championship, I guess Naomi's next in line. I think by Survivor Series we get that cash in.
I hope so. Because Tiffany, and by another example, if you wait too long, people start getting disinterested.
Yeah, or they change your theme. So, getting into this next piece, Randy Orton going down for the count.
Another thing that makes no sense. What the heck is going on? Oh, God.
I think this is going to be one of those, the pieces all have to come together for KO, Orton, and the homies.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Jesse said the bloodline is cooked. Let's move on. Eddie, this car is hot. Cue the Family Matters sad song.
That's pretty funny.
Joe Compton said, I just sit back and enjoy the product we are given. I have zero complaints. It's fine, Joe, but you have to realize that people are weaponizing stuff too, if that makes any sense. Because now you're coming to attack something else that someone else loves by saying certain things, and then do you mean it, or are you just coming in to say that to hate on things or to do things? I can give you guys a bunch of theories, but I won't get into it. Just know when it's Wednesday, I want you guys to type in hashtag AEW Dynamite on, let's just use X, for example. Tell me why it's misspelled.
Wow. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, the trending version of it is misspelled.
That's crazy.
I don't think that the trend version, like most fans, something wouldn't. Do you think that many people misspell it that it trends misspelled?
I mean, if you put,
you know what I'm saying, right? Like you put hashtag, then you start typing.
I got you. Mm-hmm. I got you. What I'm saying is, like, if you put XYZ as a trend long enough, it'll trend XYZ. So to answer your question, yes, that is true.
I don't think that many people misspell Dynamite. I'm sorry to say
that. No, you asked me, could it be? I said it could be. Yes.
Oh, yeah. If a group of people did it, absolutely. I've mistyped things. But
then again, how would the whole hashtag with the AEW like symbol jive thing happen? Yeah, it's kind of fishy.
I have theories, and trust me, there are people on the PR team who give those theories as well, who give credence to them. Kevin Owens taking out people, and with Cody, we didn't really get explanation as to what's going on. It's like the thing we're not supposed to talk about.
We've been down this road before with other storylines. It's the stupidest thing in the world when you have somebody who's red hot, and all we want is a 5-minute promo or a 2-minute promo to explain the actions, and we keep getting interrupted time and time. We still don't know why he did it. We know in theory why he did it. But give the man, like, this whole, like, we're going to make him wait. It's stupid.
And in all honesty, I justify with why Kevin Owens did it.
From a storyline standpoint, Kevin Owens did exactly what he should have done.
Yeah, Cody, how dare you? I've helped you fight against these dudes how many times? And you're like, all right, Roman, let's do this. Have my back. Kevin Owens should have went down to Georgia and stunner Cody right on that field. Like, yo. You make me sick. Randy Orton should punt him. Like, that's how I feel. Like, get out of here.
If I were in charge of WWE and if I had the book, I would blame. If I were Randy Orton, I would blame Cody Rhodes for Kevin Owens attacking me. I would like, none of this would have happened if it wasn't for you being such a wishy-washy blonde-haired punk. Bleach blonde-haired punk, by the way.
Rob, we're gonna fight. Jesse has an interesting comment. Can we do away with Money in the Bank? I am over Money in the Bank as a concept. I like what Lucha Underground did the best, which was a promoter, Dario Cuetro. He's actually on MLW. Dario said that he didn't want. He said, "I'm the promoter. Why would I have you cash in whenever you want? That doesn't make me money." He was like, "I'll give me a week's notice, and you can have a title shot whenever you want. But let me promote it at least for a week." And then he would make that kind of the big deal. Like if someone came out there, like, "I have an announcement today." "Oh, what is it?" And then they would say, I want my title shot. It's time. That would still get people hyped up for it. And then you built to the match a little bit more. So I like that. Money in the Bank, like you just said, it feels watered down when you do it year after year after year after year after year. Maybe you alternate years. Like 1 year it's the men's, 1 year it's the women's.
I actually, you're going to be surprised by this. I don't dislike Money in the Bank. I dislike how they've been using it. I think you've seen some of the greatest moments in the history of WWE happen because of Money in the Bank. The Rob Van Dam cash in at ECW will always be iconic. I think the CM Punk cash in on Batista was fantastic. The first ever cash in of Edge and John Cena at Elimination Chamber was fantastic, or New Year's Revolution. But the way they've been doing it lately has been trash, like hot garbage. Like, I don't know what they're thinking. Like, there was a time when John Cena got cashed in by Damian Sandow and Damian Sandow lost. That's a long time ago, but that was the first time it was like, ooh, that sucked. And lately it's been more and more of that. So to answer your question, I don't think that Money in the Bank should be abolished. I think that they should revamp how they've been cashing in and get it back to the way it was.
It worked out very well, and I think it's weird when people don't cash in straight up, because sometimes it feels kind of heely. Does that make sense? Like when Punk did it to Jeff Hardy, it was like, well, you technically can't be mad, but at the same time, like, it's kind of heelish,
right?
To do that to another face, but everybody wants to be the champion,
right? Facts.
Joel's asking, how was the Dynamite spelled? So it's D-Y and then flip the A in the end. And I'm like, there's no way that pops up for you to click it that way. Why would somebody want that? Why would somebody want a misspelling of their stuff? I don't know. Something just doesn't sit right with me because it pops up too often. The women's division on SmackDown is cool, but it's the land of the tag teams. Yeah. Quill says Naomi's WWE's women's champ. That's a good idea. You know what that means? Let her be champ with Bianca and Jade.
There you go.
Yeah. I'm glad they moved KO and Randy and Cody away from the Bloodline story. This is going to get interesting. We all know Randy is the real psycho of the bunch.
Oh, touche.
Pro Wrestler Shoe says, I think I've decided, or I think it's supposed to be, I think I've decided to give up on going to Mania and decided All In Texas may be the destination. Singing Ruby Soho. It makes sense bank account wise. Yeah. Yo, I love WWE. I love AEW, but I am tired of seeing dumb blank tweeted about WWE. It's clearly a bot. Solo added a spinning wheel kick to his moveset. OMG, shut up. Jesse. Yeah, people are doing that. I've seen that before when searching for hashtags. Often there's a misspelling or just the AEW is left off. Yeah, sometimes that happens. But when the hashtag is supposed to promote the show, why wouldn't it be correct? And I know most people spell it correctly because people would go out of their way to say, why is this popping up like this? We all spell this right. Like, and it's a conscious look at it. So I always make sure I type out my hashtags myself.
If you're not anything else, Conrad, and you're a lot more than that, but if you're not anything else, you are precise in your promotion. There's no question.
Always. Let's get to Raw. Let's talk about what happened on Raw with Sami Zayn and Gunther, World Heavyweight Championship. Can
I take a moment to celebrate from the rooftops that we didn't see Goldberg?
Absolutely.
Thank you, God. Thank you, wrestling God.
He's coming, though. Believe that. We got our little favorite feud here. By the way, I can dig this for Seth. Not goofy, not the ha-ha. it was him and Punk squaring off. He's wearing the all black. I can get down with this.
Well, it's about time you came around.
Do you think this has to be held off till Mania? I just don't see them doing this now. There's no way.
I'm going to tell you what's going to happen right now, my brother. Seth Rollins will somehow be the World Heavyweight Champion again, and CM Punk is going to win the Royal Rumble. Remember I said, what's today's date? October 14th. Seth Rollins, I'm not going to say how because there's so many twists and turns that it could take. It's going to be Seth Rollins winning the World Heavyweight Championship somewhere between now and WrestleMania, and it's going to be CM Punk winning the 2025 Men's Royal Rumble.
Man, I'm in full agreement with you. I said it in the
beginning. I'm saying you're welcome to the wrestling community because me and you should be writing this freaking show. Because if they do anything other than that, it'd be stupid.
It's simplistic, man. That's how it should go, you know. Getting back into it.
I can book this feud all the way through WrestleMania if you want me to.
Absolutely. The hatred is there between these two. Let me see here.
But you better get on board with the you're late to the party with that one, brother.
I think I'm gonna stay late. The New Day storyline. How are you feeling about this? I'm not a big fan of New Day breaking up. Like I've always been against it, but I am intrigued by the storyline now.
I'm intrigued by the storyline, but the question is then what, right? If Xavier Woods does what it looks like the writing on the wall is going to be. Now, keep in mind, there have been teams that have been pushed to the brink of breakup and then pulled back, i.e. Dean Ambrose with the Shield. But if Xavier Woods does the inevitable and turns on Kofi Kingston, then what? Kofi Kingston is a legit former world champion. Big E, whether he comes back or not, is a legit former world champion. What is left for Xavier Woods to accomplish that is doable? He won the King of the Ring, which I think is outstanding, right? Even though King of the Ring is not what it used to be. He will always go down, and I think he'll be a Hall of Famer as part of the New Day team. But as we progress and matriculate down the annals of his career, once he is no longer associated with Kofi Kingston and the New Day, is there a future for Xavier Woods in prominent roles on WWE television? I don't think so.
I think it depends. I think it's capable for Xavier Woods to get hot. It's just what's the storyline that fits him? Who is Xavier Woods to get to that point? Does that make sense?
It does make sense, Conrad, but I think you're using your intellect and it's to your disadvantage in this particular point. You're being smart about it, but I think this is one of these elementary ones that doesn't need your intellect and doesn't need my intellect. I think this is a simple thing where it's like, okay, can Woods survive on his own and be a superstar by himself? I think the answer is no. Respectfully, I think Xavier Woods is an outstanding talent, but do I think that he is going to be prominently featured in WWE? There's a chance if they break up, Xavier Woods could show up on NXT.
Yeah, but here's what I'm saying. If you have the New Day with it, the story's always going to be Kofi did it, E did it. How come you never did it? Even if it's for a short run. That's always going to be the story. Like, why couldn't Woodsy do it? Why couldn't Xavier Woods win the big one? Why didn't he become the champion that he should have became? It's there. Like, it's most people don't have that written for them. It's kind of like, well, you need to figure out something for yourself, kid. Now it's like, well, Woods has the story. You just need to do it. Like, if you want to do it, do it. Tell he needs something for himself.
Can I take you back to the 1990s?
Go ahead.
The late 1990s. The Rock, Farouk, The Godfather, Mark Henry, D'Lo. They were all outstanding in the Nation of Domination. Also, Owen Hart. Shout out to Owen Hart as well. God rest his soul. But you knew that all of them were not going to be massively successful on a world championship level. But that kind of contradicts my point. So let me bring this back home. Yes, D'Lo Brown became the Eurocontinental champion and became
first ever
an ultra confident and ultra popular guy. Yes, the Godfather became Intercontinental champion, tag team champion, became super popular. Owen Hart, nothing even needs to be said. Hall of Famer, right? Should be. Mark Henry, world champion. Obviously, The Rock, Farouk, first ever black world champion. It doesn't always work out that way, though, bro. Like, Kofi Kingston. Oh, this is gonna suck to say, bro, because I like Xavier, but he's not on Big E and Kofi Kingston's level, bro. Sometimes you shouldn't just break up teams. You shouldn't just break up teams just because, bro. You shouldn't just be like, okay, well, you know what? You've been together for 10 years. Maybe it's time to do something new. Not if you're still printing money.
I think with New Day, here's the thing people miss sometimes. They're like, oh, break them up, break them up, break them up. The purpose is that they are brothers. And brothers need to stick together. That's the purpose. That's why the group formed. Think about it. Go back to the beginning when he came out there. Y'all shouldn't be fighting each other, Kofi and Big E. We should be united. Woods was the one who presented the idea. Like, we should be together. And that's what the premise of this story is. And I think you get so close to breakup and explosion. New Day's about to hit their 10-year anniversary. I think before the year ends.
I think they're going to break up on their 10-year anniversary. Really,
I think E comes back. I think E comes back and sets it right.
Okay, well that would be better than. I don't want them to break up. I think it's a big mistake. I hope they don't do it.
You have option A and option B, but I've been wrong before. Trust me. You saw my WrestleDream predictions. I was wrong about some of those.
Well, I hope you're right, because them breaking up just doesn't make any sense to me at all. You know, it's a stupid proposition in my opinion.
Yes, and I'm putting out here Crown Jewel, Saturday, November 2nd at 1 p.m. We have 2 champions versus champions matches for the respective World Heavyweight Men's Championships and the World Heavyweight Women's Championships. Should be good. Should be a tremendous show. Who's going to be the Crown Jewel champion? Not for Hog Wrestling, House of Glory, but for the WWE. I'm doing my best here, Sean. I'm drowning. Help me. Help me. I don't know what to say about this. They're going to have matches. I really don't know how you beat either of these guys in this situation. And I'm sure we'll get to it once it's time. And with this one, I'm just like, yeah, who cares? You know, I don't know.
So freaking stupid. It's so freaking stupid. Do you know that Braun Strowman has been the greatest Royal Rumble champion for 2,000 days?
I have no words for that. That's not even a. You know, they just do gimmicks.
Braun Strowman has been the greatest Royal Rumble belt holder for 2,000 plus days. Oh God. Okay, Mleezy, I appreciate you. I can't take it, Mleezy. Thank you so much. I'm fired up. No, but seriously, this Crown Jewel thing is so freaking stupid. And it's like, you know, golly, like it's so freaking stupid. Right. McKinney says, I like the story of what's going on with the New Day. They'll tease a breakup until the anniversary of the group formation. Then we'll see BE come back and say he's cleared to wrestle, hopefully. So, you know, McKinney agrees with your premise, Conrad. I would love that to be the case. Them breaking up doesn't make any sense. I agree.
Yeah. And I'm with Guy Will Gamble as well. The greatest Royal Rumble happened in 1992.
Oh, touche. Be
fair to Flair.
Well, they called the one that Braun Strowman won the greatest Royal Rumble.
That was, you know what, that was to take that money, bro. Let's not even front here. No, I'm giving you a Royal Rumble show. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
But that wasn't what happened at WrestleMania. Oh, you guys will get it soon. Don't worry about it. It'll be on the network. Have a good day. Thanks for the billions.
And do me a favor, Conrad, as I turn my computer off again, my timer off again. Please highlight Sir Quilly's comment at the very bottom, because that is so accurate at the very bottom, Conrad, about Cody Rhodes and Gunther.
Oh, it just popped up. Yep.
How dare you waste a match of this caliber on this BS B-list show? Like it's criminal. It's criminal. As much as I talk crap about Cody Rhodes, he is still a top 5 performer in the company, and Gunther's probably second in my book. Like, what the heck are we? Crown Jewel? Cody Rhodes and Gunther at Crown freaking Jewel?
I think they feel like they need a gimmick for these shows. And I'm trying to talk about this in generalities. Yeah, I think they're like, oh, we want to make it special for them because they're paying lots of money for the shows, right? They came up out of pocket for these shows. So what are you giving us? And they're like, oh, we have to have a gimmick to this. Like King of the Ring, I was like, okay, that works. But now they're like, oh, what's the gimmick for this one? And it's like, oh, we're going back to the Smackdown versus Raw. I don't want to see that again. Like, we just got away from it. And
right, Vienna, that was the year Titus made a name for himself, yes.
World Slide. But on the real, though, like, it's like, you know, like, why do this? I that's one of the things I will say, like, I thought Triple H did do right, where it was like, yeah, we're not doing that Raw versus Smackdown stuff anymore, Survivor Series. I appreciated that. McKinney says, I look at the Saudi shows like Vegas, whatever happens there stays there, just cut the check so we can bounce up out of here. Wow. Let's get into this AEW talk here for WrestleDream, man. Our guy Jesse was in the house for the show.
All up on the TV, all up in the videos.
Dancing all up in your videos. Yeah, what's up, Jesse? What's going on with that?
Come to AEW.
With Giannis Antetokounmpo.
That's great.
Yo, don't ever say I don't make fun of Tony Khan of them, but
fantastic.
It has to. We had a lot of fun with the show. I don't really want to delve too deep into it because you can listen to me and Sean review. Actually, I'm going to say this. I thought me, him, and Derek had a really good show. And yeah, we're sitting around if you add the video version up and the live version, we're sitting at about a smooth 6-7 hundo. So we did really good with that one.
I'm just glad you guys allowed me to piggyback off y'all's greatness, man.
Nah, we had to get everyone in there. At first, I wasn't going to. I was like, this might be the show Lashley shows up, so we should review it. Wah, wah, wah. My idea was good in theory, but that's not what happened. Yeah. Which I think they were right for, though. Like, once you watch it, you can kind of piece it together. Me and Sean were definitely in awe of Swerve and his treatment of main event status. It is a beautiful thing. I'm trying not to use the word superstar because that belongs to another company. But Swerve was treated like a main event player in this wrestling company. And Swerve holds principles similar to that I speak of you, Sean, where you can do something to slight us. I'll take the money that from somewhere for a little less, and I'll prove you wrong. And I'm going to make you eat every dollar that you didn't give to me. By the way, I'm friends with some of Swerve's friends. Let's just say that. And I know that's going to come off as like, oh, Kyron's always sticking up for Swerve because he's friends with them. I'm admitting the bias into part of this. But Swerve has a song called Big Sis Birthday. And if you listen to it, and I mean really listen to the lyrics, you can tell who he's talking about in the song.
Oh, so you have to send me a link, bro.
Oh, yeah. It's very interesting. And they crushed it on that. But I absolutely love how Swerve was treated here. People vying for someone's services. Sean, me and you are old school WWF fans. Mm-hmm. What was better than the Macho Man Randy Savage coming to the World Wrestling Federation and managers were lining up willing to give him whatever they could. I'll do a trade if you get him. Come on, I gotta have this guy. And then he ends up picking Miss Elizabeth.
Personally, I think you should have signed with Johnny V, but I digress.
Boo!
No, absolutely fantastic. It was like a free agency signing. It was awesome.
I see how you look at Johnny V, dude.
You put Johnny V into the storyline with the Mega Powers. Oh, God. Yeah, okay, I was wrong.
Johnny V's backstage, Macho with the title. Get away
from interviews. No interviews. Hulk Hogan, I'm ready.
Poor Bret and Sean. By the way, in that segment, Hulk Hogan and them definitely beat up Bret Hart from the Hart Foundation and Shawn Michaels from the Rockers. Oh, how things change a few years later. Yes. I have to give Matt's comment credit because he caught it. Jesse flipping off the Young Ducks. Yes, we did see that on camera. Saudi shows are nothing but house shows. What up, Tokyo? Appreciate you.
Yo, I don't see the lies.
No lies detected. And something I wish both companies would do. I know McKinney just brought it up with the belts. Give them a trophy instead. Like, make a magnificent trophy versus everything doesn't have to have a championship to it. I know Tony Khan does it for the Owen Hart Cup too, and I feel like that's more like a keepsake for the wrestler, which is like, hey man, thanks for doing this tournament. Like you can always hang this up in your house. Like that's really cool. Thank you for what you did in honoring Owen. But you know what I mean? Like you don't need more championships, but that's fine. I digress. It's something small.
Right.
I want to get into the main event. Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley. We kind of talked about this, and I don't know if anyone else peeped this, Sean, but I got it up on the screen here. Credit to Sportskeeda. Did you know his last match on Raw, 2019, he wrestled Seth Rollins. His last match on SmackDown, he wrestled Roman Reigns on SmackDown. And then his last match on WrestleDream, a pay-per-view for AEW, he wrestled Jon Moxley. Shield rules again, baby. I'm telling you, when I bring up the Shield, it's one of the best rules.
I can't hear buying into this crap.
I just can't believe that. It's very weird how all three of them are connected, though. Once again, who beat each person for their first title? Seth penned Roman. Roman penned Moxley. Moxley penned Seth. You get it like full circle. Just weird how all that happens with the Shield.
The only thing is that this is not going to be Daniel Bryan's last match.
Absolutely, but we'll say full time. Let me talk my talk for now. It was good, but it's hard. It's hard to say goodbye, man, to Bryan Danielson. Here he ended up losing via chokeout, and the crowd was just dejected. Like I heard it was silent. I wish Jesse was in here. I don't think he's in here anymore, but I would love to know how quiet it was in that arena afterwards. Right. But I think it was supposed to make you feel uncomfortable. Sean, do we not get enough uncomfortable endings? I wish I could get you on camera right now. Let me see. Put it on. Let me see. Put the camera on for the people.
Yeah.
Still chopping, but that's all right. I can see you though a little bit. Go ahead.
Not a lot of Owen Hart insecurities to Shawn Michaels with dead silence on Monday Night Raw going off the air. Not a lot of moments like we saw at WrestleDream. Do we need more of it? As long as it's done tastefully. That's where I'm at with it. As long as it's done tastefully. I'm not a big fan of the plastic bag thing. I'm not a big fan of syringes. That's just a personal preference as far as what I see on pro wrestling TV. But as far as having uncomfortable endings, I think uncomfortable endings done in sporadic form is good for the product.
I'm okay with it because it offers something different. Like I said, Sean, when we did the review, what did you guys want? You want him to pull out a tank of gas? Like we've seen it all. We've seen it all, basically.
Like, how much further do you want them to go? Like it's getting ridiculous. Like you're going to start being ridiculous by saying, "Oh, they need to take it a step further." Like really? Like okay.
Yeah, and I had mentioned Bryan Danielson before, man. Like this is someone who that I adore from a pro wrestling standpoint. He is the best technical wrestler of this era, in my opinion. I really enjoy the work that he puts into the ring. He's one of the best in-ring storytellers within, I don't know, what do I want to say, since the 2000s? Like, he's amazing.
That's fairly accurate, yeah.
This guy has wrestled Kamala on independent shows.
Amazing.
And he wrestled Kamala style and made it work. I love the work he did with CM Punk when CM Punk was on that 434-day title reign. I love the work with Sheamus, where Sheamus and him were wrestling those great matches. That Extreme Rules Iron Man match, fantastic. Him losing at WrestleMania in seconds ended up building him up because he knows how to maximize moments. And I don't care if it was that wasn't supposed to happen that way. Don't care. It worked in his favor.
You're talking right. You're talking right. Because anybody who says that, I like how you threw that out there. Because anybody who says that's just nitpicking.
Yeah. It ends up working in his favor every time, and people usually end up loving this guy. I heard a great story about how Nick Bockwinkel changed a tournament. I think it was in 99 or 2000. He's in it. It's an independent wrestling tournament. He's watching it with Dave Meltzer and one other person was there. I can't think of who. Bryan Danielson was not supposed to win. Nick Bockwinkel goes and talks to the promoter, and he was like, this kid, I guess the words he told Dave Meltzer was, This kid is better than anyone we ever had during my era.
Wow.
Already, just by looking at him. And I was like, whoa, hearing that. And then he said he went backstage and told the promoter, yo, put this kid over. Because if you don't now, when he takes off, you're never going to know what happens. They end up changing the tournament. People were mad. Danielson's winning now. They got boo-boo face. Danielson ends up winning, but then look where he wound up. And then look at the people who he worked with. I'm going to say some names. I just want you to think of where they are now. Think of the independent versions of them, and then think of where they are now. Bryan Danielson, Samoa Joe, Chris Hero, Claudio Castagnoli, CM Punk, Tyler Black, a.k.a. Seth Rollins, Jon Moxley, a.k.a. Dean Ambrose. Look at where all these people started, and look at where they are now. These were like the top indie people. Sami Callihan. You could go through it for days and put their names down. Look at where these guys are now. And Danielson wrestled them all.
Yo, good work out of you, Conrad. Yo, chat, give it up for Conrad for the homework. I love it.
That's off top.
No, I'm not saying you did homework per se. I'm saying, like, you're on top of your game, brother.
Just amazing work there. Hold on here. We're going to the chat here. I apologize here. I legit thought the crowd was going to riot at Bryan losing. It's going to be hard when Bryan Danielson says goodbye. So is Mox the new gimmick? I don't think that's going to be the new gimmick. I think that was for shock and awe in the beginning. They may end up using it again later with this angle, but the match was cool, but the aftermath was trash dookie. After that, I don't want Danielson to come back. Ooh,
I wouldn't say it was trash dookie. I mean,
nah.
I don't think I would go back to. I wouldn't have gone back to the plastic bag for a second time.
You know who wrestlers could learn from in that segment before I get to T-Ferg's comment? Double J Jeff Jarrett, Sean. Why do you think Jeff Jarrett got kicked out the ring and kept coming back in? He was showing you baby faces never give up. Until he got hit with a chair. He was like, Bryan, I tried my best to get in there to help you, bro. I couldn't. Like, I tried, and these guys were taking me out. That was what Jarrett was trying to convey. This was done very well. It might be that people don't believe in it. And this goes back to what I was talking about. Who did I say something to about weaponizing before now? I can't remember who made the comment, Sean. Someone said they didn't like WrestleDream, and maybe it was Calvin. Or no, not Calvin, Robert Brown. Mm-hmm. This is what I was talking about when people weaponize certain things. Why don't you care about them? Why don't you care about the wrestlers out there trying to help him? They're telling you something. People wanted storytelling. Now you're getting storytelling and you're telling them, no, this isn't good enough. So then what's the story you want then? These are the questions I'm asking.
You know the answer to that people are never satisfied, Conrad.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, hey, Conrad consistently standing in on Xbox. Funny. T-Ferg said, what up, fellas? I'm hearing a lot of negative things about WrestleDream. Some are saying this pay-per-view will turn more people off of AEW's product. Sean, I'll let you respond to that.
Let me think. Let's see here.
Real quick, Mets win.
That's what's up. I've been trying to stay focused on the show. I appreciate you.
Think I'm lazy, not me.
Oh, I'm lazy. Appreciate you. Look, as far as WrestleDream being trash or negative things about WrestleDream?
A turnoff for fans, I guess, is what T-Ferg says. T-Ferg puts it nicely always.
I think, T-Ferg, that the bottom line is that people are extremely fickle, to use the words of Bryan Danielson. And I think that it's become a situation where AEW should not allow themselves to be subjected. Let me put myself back on camera. Should not subject themselves to what the fans think in that regard, because I think people who are saying those type of things are not really AEW fans. They're people that are trying to nitpick and make it seem like AEW's do. Now, again, would I have gone with the plastic bag for a second time? Probably not. Would I have gone with the syringe in the Adam Page and Swerve Strickland match? Probably not. But outside of that, we're talking about theater type, epic type professional wrestling. What exactly are people complaining about? So T-Ferg, no, I wouldn't worry about. I don't think there's anything to concern yourself with as it relates to the AEW product. People who are turned off by AEW are, I guess, turned off by the best in-ring wrestling in the industry, and turned off by what I think is the second best storyline writing in the industry. And I only say that behind WWE because WWE has, even though Triple H lacks in storyline writing, Triple H has the talent to overshadow his crappy storyline writing. When you have Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes and The Rock and
John Cena,
it's like,
Undertaker,
it's kind of hard to mess things up, even though he does try to go out of his way. But I digress. AEW is doing nothing wrong, and anybody who says otherwise is just a hater.
I also want to acknowledge that people do put up real threads. I put up a thread for suggestions for Tony Khan. I'm trying to see if I can find it. I did a lot of promotion of WrestleDream. Yo, shout out to the Beef and Broccoli Tims, by the way, that I said that our boy Big Bill needs to wear or start wearing. Mm-hmm. Where am I here with this? I put a thread together, though, and it was basically a thread. Here it is. Things I'd like to see Tony Khan do or go back to doing or adopt. I put announcing Dynamite cards earlier, 1 to 3 weeks in advance, saying like, at week 3, you're going to get Pac versus Kenny Omega like he used to. Letting segments breathe and giving us time to digest. They've gotten better with it. Just hold on to it. Let the moments happen. Let people get the moment. Absolutely. Lighting from 2019. And I get it. You got to have the people back in there. Work on pricing better. People are waiting in the AEW show. So now they're not buying right away. They're waiting till the end when you're like, let's slash those prices down. That's telling you that there's a price issue then. Make your shows cheaper than WWE. You can come have a good time with the family at our shows. Show up. Meet and greets. We got everything. Have one wrestler people for free. Like, who's not on the card? Kip Sabian's not on the card? Kip Sabian, go sign autographs in the forum while people are coming in. Okay, cool. Run unique venues, esports arena, run a beach, run a mall, run a club, do something different sometimes. Put Collision in a club, maybe, even if it's Ring of Honor. Play off your ticket prices, I said. Show that you're more affordable than the competitors. Have someone find and fill in logic gaps. And Sean, come back to that because I want to ask you about Jimmy Jacobs. Remind me about that. More marketing of everything AEW. Tap into strategic partnerships. Work together with people. Focus on international TV rights. WWE just gave up all their TV rights because they're going to Netflix everywhere else.
Right. So look into that.
Yeah. Hey, holla at your boy. I'm cheaper too. Come on. Come talk to me.
Come on,
stack your money up and do what you're going to do. Maybe you invest in a creative team. Maybe you look at the infrastructure of AEW and I say, I need a couple more EVPs to help do some things.
I don't see any lies detected in what you just said, bro.
Yeah, I said work on your video game development if that's what you want to get into.
Please work on your video game development, please.
Well, I've been told they're reaching out to some bigger companies to do what they probably wanted to do. I've told you the background behind it. Like, I don't even want to get into it.
I got you.
And I said, be willing to mend fences with past issues on certain things that can be mended. And wrestling can't take everything personal. CM Punk's the perfect example I want to use for this. Tony Khan and CM Punk, I'm sure they're not the best of friends. I don't think they text each other right now. But at the end of the day, acknowledge CM Punk on your TV show still. Just say, man, we were thankful for the time he was here and the stuff that he did. You know what I mean? Like, oh, he had a great match with MJF. When they're acknowledging their history. Why do that?
Theoretically, send them a Christmas card. See, theoretically, make sure you call and wish them a happy Thanksgiving. Just keep them on the radar.
Right. For he may be your announcer one day. He may be someone that you want to have back in the company for a shocking moment. Don't let these, we got mad at each other one time. What did you do anything worse than what happened the first time when Punk left WWE and walked out? I don't think so.
There you go.
I know that Punk may be mad, like, you showed that footage to try to embarrass me. Who cares? Who cares? Water under the bridge. I don't care. It didn't make me look bad. It made you look bad. That's how they both probably feel. So,
and that water gets a lot lighter when you throw a big check at it.
Right. And T. Ferg says he agrees with you. He still supports AEW. So
yeah, no doubt, man.
Matt says, I think the ending worked out perfectly with the perfect person that so many love and put over a heel faction. Yes, they are trying to put it in. And by the way, Yankees versus Guardians are starting. Now I got to sweat. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Danielson, I just want to show everybody this real quick before I get off Danielson. And then I'm going to address that point you had brought up, Matt. No, before I get into this, I want to address Sean again. Sean, how do you feel about Jimmy Jacobs I'm going to use air quotes here, resigning, because I don't know if he resigned or if that's usually if I like you and I'm like, you're gone, I would say like, no, he resigned. It's all good.
I think you got to take everything with a grain of salt, bro. These resignations and these convenient time resignations, you got to raise an eyebrow to them.
And he had recently just said, maybe it was the media call, like, yeah, we might be looking to shake up creative a little bit.
Why do you think I said keep an eyebrow raised when it comes to these conveniently timed resignations? It's not these. I don't believe in coincidences. Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah. So I don't know what to say about that, but keep your eyes peeled. But I just was wondering.
Exactly.
Danielson, I just want to show you his run from. What was this? The match with Ricky Starks all the way to where we got today. You can zoom in on some of those pictures. Him and Shibata.
He did an excellent job in his time in AEW. And he's not done, I don't believe, but for the full-time, and by the way, full-time kind of tongue-in-cheek, right? But he did a tremendous job with some legitimate injury. Let's call a spade a spade. That neck thing is not fake, even though he was putting some sauce on it with the storyline. He does have a bad neck.
Mm-hmm. And look at, he just ran through. He's on Collision. He's in CMLL. He's in AAA. He's in, he wrestled Will Ospreay, for goodness sakes. He was everywhere. He was in the C2. He wrestled they probably made the G1 tournament because he couldn't go over there long enough because of his family now. They were like, here, I'll bring the G2 or the G1. I said the G2. I'll bring the G1 to you with the C2. Here you go. Let's do it.
Bryan Danielson is one of the greatest wrestlers of all time.
Yeah, and WrestleDream, it was a bad night to be a babyface. I just want to show you guys this. These are all the champions in AEW.
Yep.
And they're heels. Shout out to Konosuke Takeshita, too. Finally making my when me and Sean do our yearly predictions. I love it, too. Soon we're going to be looking at those. I don't even like looking at them until we're close to them.
Right.
Just so I can be like, man, what did Sean say? Sean got one right one time that was so specific that I was like, yo.
It was weird. It was weird.
It was good, though. He caught it, and it was good. I'm going back into what people are saying here as we round the bases and get ready to hop off of this. Off gate, TK needs to find 3,000 to 4,000 seating venues to call home base, like NXT do pay-per-views in a big arena. Numbers go up. Trim the fat on the roster. That sounds good, but remember, you're losing a lot of other things when you go to these smaller venues. How's the bathroom situation? Oh, we don't have a hot dog guy. There's no food here.
He needs to call up Disney.
I think he was on that lot for a little bit. I wonder what happened with that. Because remember when Ring of Honor was filming?
Yeah, that was one thing WCW did very right. When they got Disney Studios, that was fantastic.
I don't know how they got the fans who didn't know nothing about wrestling clapping, though. I wish I had figured that out as a kid.
Imagine, and listen, you can, in the Florida area especially, like, real wrestling fans would come to that show, 100%.
But Sean, I think that the ignorance is too high there. Does that make sense now? Or back then it worked because there was ignorance. Like, I didn't know as a kid. I thought these people were there to see wrestling. Like, oh, they like wrestling. They came in. No.
Yeah, I don't think you have to fill a soundstage like Eric Bischoff. You're right. During that time, Eric Bischoff caught a break. But what I'm saying, I don't think Tony Khan would need that break. I think they would sell those 500 tickets with no problem.
Oh, yeah. If you're just looking for bodies to cheer and talk wrestling,
easy.
Put on Ring of Honor there.
Easy. And put on 4 shows a night. 4 shows a night. You want to talk about saving money on travel? You want to talk about making your bottom line look better? Come on, bro. You're always the business guy, but I got some stuff up my sleeve too.
No, you're putting. Have a good night, boys.
There you go.
I'll see you in a couple weeks to run the cameras. See you later. Good to have you. I think TK lending out a couple AEW stars to Maple Leaf Wrestling and allowing AEW and ROH titles being defended to lure Scott to AEW ROH Creative. Could be. Scott D'Amore is free. Bryan Danielson is one of the greatest to ever step foot in the ring. Facts. Matt Lopez is our Ring of Honor guy. He knows the history. He is all about it. And I want to look at this last shot here. And I know we don't have everyone in the shot, but that's Darby Allin, who lost his world title shot. He was dejected. Moxley played him. Orange Cassidy, Jerry Lynn that night on WrestleDream it might have been the pre-show or it might have been the beginning of the pay-per-view, basically told Orange, I've seen how good you are. It's time to step up, get serious. And he gave him like a pep talk and it was serious. It wasn't Orange doing like the, oh yeah, okay, Renee, back. You know what I mean? It wasn't none of that.
Something resonated in Orange's mind when Lynn talked to him.
Daniel Garcia has been looking like a main event. Me and Derek have been talking about it every week on the reviews. There's no more dancing. There's no more dancing, Daniel Garcia. And who else was next to them? Hook. And I just happened to listen to, I think it was Chris Jericho on Busted Open Radio. He said, Hook's really getting it. He's like, and I'm not saying that just because I worked with Hook. He said he's been hanging out with Joe. He mentioned a bunch of names who Hook's been taking notes from. Like,
you know what we're seeing now in AEW? You know what we're seeing? The new generation.
Here comes Duke the Dumpster Drosy versus Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
I mean the good new generation.
Henry Godwin, pig match.
Oh my God. Well, it's a new generation of AEW, though.
Yeah, and I think they're moving forward. It's the youth movement that's finally happening. So
even though Hook needs some promo training, but he's pretty good, though.
Listen, it comes to this is someone who never wrestled before.
No, he's doing a great job. He's doing a great job, but, let's continue polishing that penny.
Maybe he's the guy you focus Ring of Honor around. Like, listen, I want you to come down here and get your reps in. Come get the reps in, and you're going to be the champ. You're the focus on this here.
Factuals.
Just food for thought, putting it out there. AEW has not one honorable champion now. It's a shame. The honorable champions are in Ring of Honor: Mark Briscoe, Red Velvet, Dustin Rhodes, Sammy Guevara, and Dustin Rhodes and the Von Erichs. No, honor will be restored, Quilly. You got to let the bet. What's the word that they've used? I think it was corny about Vader. You got to let King Kong get a couple villagers before you can have him slayed, all right? Can't have Shawn Michaels just beating Vader like that. Like, I was just like,
for those listening on audio, I tried to keep the swerve pose going, and Conrad ruined it by making me laugh.
Catch a vibe. PrinceNanaCoffee.com if you guys want to get some of Nana's coffee. I heard he's out here making moves.
Darby!
Matt said AEW the new generation versus WWF the new generation.
Listen, I don't see any lies.
The good new generation. What a revolutionary idea! Thank you, E. That was it. Even Frankenstein beat up a couple villagers. Can't just get to the finish.
Factuals.
Let him live. But going into this, man, on Wednesday, me and Derek will be live. We're going to be talking about Dynamite from San Jose, California, in the SAP Center. I think there's still tickets available on AEWTix.com. Mercedes Moné, Queen Aminata, I believe it's for the TBS Championship. Let's go.
Stop putting Mercedes on posters of shows she's not going to be on. That's the only criticism.
Facts. I wonder if something happened or if they were like, oh, well, let's say, can I say something else, Sean? Sure. When y'all praise certain things, the number 2 sees it, they're like, okay, this must be what they want us to do. Pull Mercedes from the pay-per-view card and let her main event near her hometown or where she lives now. No. This is where I blame fans for stuff sometimes. And people don't ever do this enough. Y'all praise when someone else does. It's okay to not book the Street Profits on the pay-per-view. It's totally fine. They can lose the TLC match on SmackDown. Stop praising that. That's bad. Bad.
It is bad.
Because you're letting them think it's okay to do that. But me and Derek will review the show on Wednesday. And I agree, Sean. Try not to put people on the card because someone may buy a ticket thinking they're going to see them and then they're not there. I'm disappointed.
Some amateur stuff AEW has to work out, but they're still the best in-ring product in the business.
Speaking of best in the business, tonight we got Monday Night Raw. This is possibly their new logo we've seen in the streets. A nice triangle with Raw in between. It's like a nice sandwich Sean talks about on the weekly.
Well, that's accurate.
Cody Rhodes will be on Monday Night Raw tonight, Sean.
Here we go again.
Hashtag what draft? Cody's going to be over here.
What's he doing on Raw? Golly.
I'm here to address Gunther, and this is pre-recorded as well. So
yeah, that is true. But my God, they suck, bro.
We have a tag title match here. It is going to be Bianca and Jade taking on Damage Control. I don't know.
Against the wall.
I think this will be a tremendous matchup. I won't comment on what I think the finish is. I won't come in here on my Eric Bischoff and tell you guys.
Make sure you tune in at 7:58 p.m.
7:57 on the dot.
Yeah.
Kofi Kingston versus Braun Breaker also should be happening tonight. Kofi, I pray for you, my friend.
Yeah, you're not going to have a good night tonight, or didn't have a good night last week.
Absolutely not. Sean, if you got stuff to promote or anything you want to say, take us out of here.
Nothing to promote except the best AEW review in all the land right here on the EPW channel with Conrad and my guy Derek on Wednesday night, 10 p.m. Make sure you tune in for that. Make sure you tune in for us next week at 6:05 Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you go to hwweekly.com. hwweekly.com for brand new articles and brand new stuff that I just dropped this week. Really excited about it. Make sure you check us out on Spotify and all the other places. And make sure, more importantly than anything else, you subscribe and like our videos on both channels, and tell a friend to tell a friend about Clash of the Podcast. Tell a friend to tell a friend about Hubbard Wrestling Weekly. Tell a friend to tell a friend about Everything Pro Wrestling, because people talking means that we get in people's purview. That means people checking out our channels, and that means perhaps we can get onto a higher level of notoriety and bring you more and more content and make it bigger and bigger. But we do appreciate what you guys have done for us and tuning in each and every week. We appreciate you greatly. We apologize for the technical difficulties this evening, but I do think that we kind of held it together as best we could. And at this particular moment, for some reason, it's working perfectly, which I don't understand considering the fact we had issues throughout the entire show, but that's kind of the way things work sometimes. But we're ending on a high note. So with that being said, episode 111 is in the books. We'll see you next week for episode 112. Only you. So make sure you check us out.
The Notorious Just. Please us with your lyrical thesis.
Hey! Episode 112 next week. You already know what it is, man. So check us out next week. We'll be here right here. Same Clash time, same Clash channel. God bless each and every one of you. Be encouraged, and remember, evil never prevails. Peace.